Well, the biblical text in modern day Christianity, it's a little bit off, right?
All these Congress people going on Rogan, yeah, like this is what that Anna Paulina, yeah, I don't trust her either. I don't trust any. I don't trust most of them. Everybody loves her, but everybody loved Marjorie Taylor Greene too. Just might want to remember that. Well, what I really don't like where she's going, but and it's because I'm not. I seem like I'm always trying to be objective or like be pushed back on everybody. It's really not. It's like I'm used to looking at things through the biblical lens, and that maybe just that's why I look at things differently, I guess. And that's not a habit I'm willing to could just snap myself out of. I do. I look at everything from the biblical lens. Okay, so I see a lot of people, and before everybody, when everybody else is loving on a lot of these people, I'm thinking, no. They're gonna go trying to take people in the wrong direction, and I think that this is the season of deception, and so there's a lot of people that are trying to take people in the wrong direction. So in this interview, one of the things, so she's saying here that our biblical text is off. No, it's not. Ethiopia's is. Okay, it is. Ethiopia throws everything in their Bible. Okay, so one of the things she says in this interview is that they have the book of Enoch in there. Okay, well, the book of Enoch is not a hidden book. I read it. Anybody can go read it. The reason it wasn't put in the King James Version is because it wasn't first century. The King James Version was not written by the Catholic Church. King James had it done because he was getting the popery propaganda out of it. And he got the Latin and the Hebrew, everybody together. So he wanted the most, accurate stuff. And it had to be first century. Enoch is not a first century book. Everybody that brings that damn book up, okay, acts like that people were trying to hide it from you. No, it's because it wasn't first century. Could Anna Paulina maybe say that? And of course she doesn't. I mean, I don't think she did. She's more trying to act like, and I've heard this for years, that Ethiopia has the most accurate Bible. Yeah, no, I call BS on that. Maybe they do. I mean, just because they throw all the other books in, it doesn't mean anything. Anybody can go read Enoch. Nobody's trying to hide it from you. But then she went on to say that the thing is that they do in Ethiopia that's different is that, they can recognize people that just aren't good for their energy. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, because, Jesus was that way, wasn't he? He was, I'm not going to go around this person because that's not good for my energy, huh? That Jesus was doing that kind of thing. That's what Ethiopia thinks. What this is this, I think anyway, it's this manifestation, biblical manifestation stuff. So I've prayed so much on that, I have, because so many people go down that path. And it's this, because she also says in here how they don't believe in end of days. Well, neither do we. We've had a bunch of churches that call it end of days because they brought in this rapture garbage and everything. No, but the book, I'm assuming the Ethiopia Bible has the book of Revelations in it. So that used to be called the Apocalypse, which it was the end of the wicked. God starts clearing the place out of the wicked. Yeah, that's what it means, the end of the wicked. But people, run around and say end of days, and that just sounds more dramatic. But Ethiopia had said, yeah, we don't look for the end of days. Well, Jesus did say, to pay attention for those things. So again, I don't know what Bible they read, okay? Because he did. He said to, that you wouldn't know the hour, the week, or any of that. But you need to pay attention to signs. There's things that Jesus asked us to do. Just because Ethiopia Bible wants, it's this whole manifestation that we're just going to make like everything around us is all wonderful and great, and then it will be that way. Okay, so see, Jesus didn't talk like that, and again, I've prayed about this so much because I see, even Trump does this. Trump does it. Okay, he does. So, and I'm not trying to tell people not to do it. I'm just saying that I've prayed about it, and I'm like, God, everybody else I must be doing something wrong. And God just said, nope, I just stay where you're at. Because the problem I have with that is then it's this, this lie you put around yourself, or this vision board you do, okay, that everything is great, and by doing that you can detach yourself and never notice anything that are things that Jesus would want you to notice, that maybe aren't so, nice and happy, but but Trump does this, okay? So, I mean, Trump is this way. It's like, even though the Catholic Church has had an entire history of being on the wrong side of everything, okay, he'll make it great again, I'm sure. Like, because that seems like that's the avenue he's going. We paint the pretty picture over it. We paint it, we rebuild it all nice, and then it's great again. Okay, see, and that doesn't work with me. And I'm a Trump supporter. It just doesn't, because you can't just say, oh, well, that's uncomfortable truth, so we're just going to make it pretty and nice again, and then everybody will just forget about all that. No, I don't think I know that's not what Jesus wanted us to do. I know that's not what he wanted us to do. So, not trying to bash Trump. I'm just saying that's what a ton of people do. It's like they create their own ideas of what the Bible is, and Jesus is very literal. Did Jesus want to go around these demon people? No, and he's not trying to tell you to, but he's also not, it's not you. He makes it clear that for those that walk with him, it's not an easy road. It's not. I mean, he says not to be miserable, try not to be miserable, but he knows it's a painful road. It's the easier way is to go along with the corrupt, to go along with the, we're going to manifest crap, okay? So that's where Anna Paulina is going with the Ethiopia stuff, yeah. So, and the other reason, the biggest, why I'm not buying this crap with, that being the most accurate Bible, no, it's not, is because the Orthodox was once tied to the papacy. Now, they broke away from it. They don't recognize the supreme papal and all that. But what they do recognize is the succession of how they became the first church. No, the only reason the Catholic Church has said that they're the first church, they had no contact with any apostles, none. They waited for all of them to die, then got a hold of everything. And I've wondered, especially given that King James was removing the popery propaganda, if there's some places where that propaganda still, it managed to seep in that they didn't get out. Like, there's a lot of the New Testament books that are written by Paul, a ton of them. And yet, I know other people have had this happen too. You're reading Paul and he's great. And then all of a sudden it's like, he says something, it's like out of line with everything. It's like, wait, where did that come from? I think that's some of that propaganda that didn't get taken out. There's only like only a couple of places where that happens. Otherwise, I'm not trying to say the books aren't. Given that King James was removing the popery propaganda, I just wonder if some of it still slipped through. Because there's just a couple of books, I forget, just a couple of places where it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't line up. And it doesn't. I'm not going to get into what the verses are. I've done videos about it. But, so, but the succession of, the Catholic Church had no contact except with being the first to get the documents. Okay? And from there on out, they started claiming we're the first church, when really they weren't. There were Christian churches before them, but they're all about power and control and not really about Jesus, which is why they get all of it wrong when it comes to Jesus. So this is another one that I think is just, and given that she went on Rogan, okay, is just meant to take everybody in the wrong direction. The most accurate Bible more than even the Ethiopia Bible, is the King James Bible.